Here, the Daily Express gleefully relishes the policing bill's progress through a parliament intent on suppressing the right to protest. In addition to removing the right to protest, the government seeks to exempt itself from judicial oversight, to disenfranchise millions by requiring voter ID, and to end the powers of the Electoral Commission, which has been so unsporting as to point out that getting party donors to pay for your redecoration seems a bit corrupt. And talking of party donations, changing the law so that people from overseas who don't qualify to vote in the UK can nevertheless donate to political parties, which is easier than stuffing the House of Lords with Russians. Then, establishing concentration camps, making merely being an asylum seeker illegal, and then criminalising any charitable effort to attend to the needs of refugees. All this is the result of a culture of scapegoating and blaming everyone else and refusing to take responsibility for anything, attitudes that have characterised the Leave project all along, and which have now reached their absurd apotheosis in the proposition that Steve Bray, Mr. Stop Brexit, is himself responsible for the hard Brexit that isn't even supposed to exist because instead we got Johnson's deal.
You pleased with the hard Brexit that you helped to bring about, Steve?
Oh yeah, you brought it about, mate.
Yes, that's David Davis, Conservative MP for Monmouth, blaming Steve for a hard Brexit, and therefore confessing that what we have in Johnson's so-called
oven-ready deal
is in fact a hard Brexit. This even as they parachute a Tory stooge into the position of BBC Director General, whose first move was to cancel, yes we know who likes the cancel culture, the MASH report for being critical of the government. Then, just this week, a former Tory No. 10 Communications Director, Sir Robbie Gibb, intervened to prevent the appointment of a BBC Executive News Director who was perceived as too left-wing. And as if suborning the BBC wasn't enough, the government has begun moves to sell off Channel 4, presumably to another Tory party donor, because its news programme, which the government refuses to appear on, didn't get the memo and keeps pointing out facts that show that the government is systematically lying to the nation about the effects of Brexit and its mismanagement of the COVID crisis. All rounded off by Nadine Dorries MP promulgating on Twitter a far-right conspiracy theory that Steve is an actor called Dave, even though she, as an MP, must know that a parliamentary candidate must place their real name on a ballot. As Steve stood in the 2019 general election for Cynnon Valley, she is accusing Steve of breaking the law by using a false name on a ballot. But more tellingly, this Dave thing is a long-standing far-right conspiracy theory that we must assume she has picked up from exposure to far-right extremist propaganda.
Liars, cheats, charlatans and fraudsters!